What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNews.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. Well, it's the biggest night of the year at Remington Park. It's the Remington Park Springboard Mile. That's what we'll discuss in this video. I'll put it up on the screen for you now. Remington Park Springboard Mile, field of 12, $300,000 the purse, of course, going 1 mile there at Remington. Look, I'm a huge fan of this race. I always love this race. My favorite running was Senior Buscador. That was super exciting the year he won it. So, like I said, always a big fan of the race. I'll be the first to say it's not the best running that I've ever seen of it. That's for sure. But look, I think it's a very competitive field. I think it's a good betting race as well. So let's go through them 1 through 12 here. Let's start with the number 1, Arctic Beast. And this horse has been nothing but a beast in 3 starts so far. Broke the maiden at Saratoga before going to Finger Lakes, I should say, and dominating in 2 stakes races there at Finger Lakes. So you might have guessed, Saratoga, 2 stakes races at Finger Lakes. Yeah, it is a New York bred horse that's been coming into Oklahoma, which is something you don't see all that often. But, look, numbers wise, it really, he stacks up just fine. Running style wise, he's been only going, 5.5 and 6 furlongs, but, he hasn't really been, in my opinion, a real headstrong horse. Can he stretch out in distance? I think that's going to be the big question. It's, Yalpon the sire out of a Frost Giant mare. I think a mile's okay. I don't really know past that. I don't think it's a horse that's going to maybe win the Kentucky Derby at 1.25 miles, but it didn't really have to here. It just has to win, right? And get this victory. So I think it'll stretch out just fine. I think it's going to be a horse that's drawn really well as well. I think he'll be very tough to beat in the spot. Let's go to the number 2, Time for Music. I kind of like this one a bit as well. I think this is a very interesting horse. Broke the maiden at Ellis Park, and I should say broke the maiden at Keeneland. Debuted at Ellis Park, so I meant to say there. Debuted at Ellis Park, didn't do much. Went to Churchill Downs, did less. two races that just weren't very good. Then broke the maiden at Keeneland on the 3rd start, going 7 furlongs. So stretched out a little bit, got the job done that day. And then went to an allowance race going 1 mile on the Stars of Tomorrow 2 card at Churchill Downs. Got second, beaten 3 3/4. Got beat by a pretty good horse that ran that day, Stop the Car, who I think is, an up-and-comer, so to speak. So, mixed bag. Last 2 races much better than the first 2. So I think he's in with a shot here. I wouldn't mind Time for Music at all here. So 2 for 2 so far as win contenders. Let's see if that continues. The number 3 is Essential Time. This horse has ran 3 times at Remington Park, including winning the Clever Trevor back in September. That's one of the 2-year-old races earlier in the season. Tried turf last time out. I don't know why, but did try turf last time out, going 7.5 furlongs, which that's a 2-turn race there at Remington. And they got 3rd, beaten 3 lengths. Not a great effort there. Back to the dirt here. Numbers don't really stack up, but they're not that far off. I just haven't been overly impressed with this horse in any of the 3 starts. Yes, I know the horse did win the Clever Trevor. I think that was a pretty weak running of that race. He's not really for me in this spot. The number 4, Royal American. This is a state bred for the Oklahoma variety, which you're used to seeing in a race like this instead of the New York bred that's on the rail here. But Royal American's been pretty darn good against Oklahoma bred company. It took a couple of races to get this horse going. Not great on debut, just okay second start. 3rd start as a maiden, won the Oklahoma Juvenile and won it by 3.5. Pretty easy victory there. This is the one I really it kind of caught my eye that this horse has a chance. The McNeil Stakes last time out, the Nancy McNeil Stakes, going 1 mile this distance for state breds, won by 3/4 of the length. Came from out of it, made a big move, and was able to get the job done. I think that makes him a player. That race right there. Most years, maybe it doesn't for this race, but in this kind of situation where, immediately it's not that strong of a race, I think this Oklahoma bred for C.R. Trout has a big chance. Cabrera, great rider here. Of course, C.R. Trout, great with the Oklahoma breds and a very good owner/trainer of all of his horses. So look out for Royal American. I think he's in here with a big shot. The number 5, My Dream Zapper. This is a horse coming in from Arapahoe. That is in Colorado. I don't know what we're going to really see in this one. It's hard to tell what they've been running against out at Arapahoe. Never went longer than a mile, or never longer than 6 furlongs. Now has to go a mile. 2 wins in 5 starts. We'll say that right off the bat. It's It's a Ghost Zapper, out of by Ghost Zapper out of a Mucho Macho Man mare. So, I think there's pedigree there that says a mile's going to be the pretty well bred horse, but really not for me in this spot. I think there's others you can find that make more sense. All right, let's go to the number 6, Supreme Good. A horse, an Irish bred horse coming in for Kenny McPeak. Debuted on the turf like you would think with this pedigree. It's all turf. Didn't run very well. Second start up at Saratoga, a maiden special weight on the dirt. Then went to Belmont, the Big A, which of course is Aqueduct. Maiden claiming 75,000, and it was an 8.5 length winner. It was an off the turf event, and just kind of freaked that day. This is one of those McPeak horses. They all, not all of them, but a lot of them kind of look like this, where he's kind of tried different things in different distances, and some can jump up and surprise you. I don't really think it's this one, but some in the past have been able to jump up and really kind of surprise in spots like this that have form like this. He's not for me in this spot, though, to be honest. All right, the favorite is the number 7, Spice Runner. Last time out in the Kentucky Jockey Club, just did no running whatsoever, beaten 15 lengths. Breeders' Futurity really didn't do any running there, beaten 12 and 3/4 lengths, so 13 basically. Ted Naffy, though, was the winner of that one. Litmus test, course came back and won last week. So, keeping good company. 3 races back, did win the Iroquois Grade 3 event there, going this 1 mile distance. That's a 1-turn 1 mile, though, there at Churchill Downs. So, look, I'm a huge Steve Asmussen fan. I'm just not a huge fan of this horse. So I'm going to go against in this spot. I will say the horse by Gun Runner, I have a Cowboy Cal mare. I mean, bred really, really well, bred to get the job done in a spot like this. But I'm gonna go against him in this spot. He's not for me here. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins. He is the class of this field, but I've never been that impressed with him. I really wasn't impressed with the Iroquois overall. So I'm looking elsewhere in the spot. I'm going to be against the favorite in this one. The number 8, Way Beyond, is next. Another Steve Asmussen horse. This one ridden by Ramon Vasquez. It's the third Asmussen horse we're going to talk about. And as you can probably tell, I prefer the 2 out of the 3, the number 2, I should say, Time for Music, out of the 3 runners here. But look, Gene Lafitte, last time out at Delta Downs, 4th, beaten 6.5. An allowance optional claimer there at Churchill Downs. He didn't run bad there. 3rd, beaten 5 lengths. I don't know. It's not for me really in this one. Did break the maiden in a maiden claiming event, but it was a high maiden, $150,000 maiden claiming event there at Churchill. Another one, it has not impressed me much. Went back, watched the replays. I don't think I missed much there. He's going to have to improve a lot, in my opinion, to win this one. The number 9, Western Man, 1 race, 1 win. It was a state bred. This is an Oklahoma bred horse, won by 9.25 and a maiden special weight going 6.5 furlongs. So talent is there for sure. Received a 64 buyer for the effort. I don't really know what, that is low, but maybe the horse projects to get a little bit better second out, and maybe projects to get a little bit better stretching out. This horse is by Code West. Of course, Code West, a Travers winner at 1.25 miles, out of a Kitten's Joy mare, so no problem with distance here. So I think this is a pretty nice Oklahoma bred. Now, it's hard to bet him off this one race, but it was a really nice race. Much tougher now, big different conditions for sure. I think at 20-1, this horse makes a little bit of sense, actually. I wouldn't hate if somebody said, hey, I'm just going to take a shot with this 20-1 horse. I'd say, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I'm not going to play this horse to win. I don't really know about pick 4s and pick 5s yet. I haven't gone that far. I do think he's a nice underneath horse, though. He's Active Tri Super. I think that's one I'm going to throw in there. So at 20-1, I think the number 9 Western Man makes a little bit of sense. The number 10, Big Apple Patrick, is next on the list here. Broke the maiden at Churchill Downs by 2 lengths and a restricted maiden, and then tried allowance company in the next start, 3rd, beaten 3.25 there. I'm not a huge fan of this one. But, the horse is a horse that should like the distance, being by Union Rags out of a Lemon Drop Kid mare. So there's reasons to believe. The last time out was on mile 16th, and I didn't think, kind of regressed in my opinion. Now, it was a sloppy track. He's caught a sloppy track both times. Maybe, and looking at the weather, he should get a fast track here. Maybe that helps a little bit, although kind of a sloppy track pedigree, really, when you look at it. I don't know. I couldn't get with this one. I went back and watched that allowance a couple times, 2 or 3 times at Churchill. There just wasn't enough there for me to kind of support him in this spot. Finally, rounded out. Well, no, there's two more. Number 11, Jets Rio is next. Ron Moquette sends this horse in off a maiden special weight. Well, I say send in. He sent him in, this year at Remington Park. Maiden special weight win last time out going a mile, which is, of course, this distance here by 5.5. Numbers are really, really light, really, really light on this one. That's kind of a pass for me all around. And then finally, the number 12, Express Kid. Another one here, big price, 20-1, won an allowance on the turf last time out here at Remington Park, 6th in the Clever Trevor, 2nd in the Prairie Meadows freshman stakes there, and then didn't break the maiden at Canterbury on the dirt. So, not for me in this spot. Nice win last time out in the allowance on the turf. This horse is by Bodie Express out of a Street Sense mare. So another one is bred decently, but just not for me. I couldn't get to Express Kid in this spot. Bad post as well, all the way out there. The 12 hole. This horse has speed, probably going to get hung pretty wide in this spot. All right. That is the field of 12 for this year's version of the Remington Park Springboard Mile. I'm going to go number 1, Arctic Beast on top in this spot. I do think he's going to stretch out to a mile okay. I like that Ricardo Santana is going to ride. So I'm going to go Arctic Beast here to win this year's version of the race. Time for Music is who I would put in second. So I would go 1, 2. I'd kind of get wild. I would use the 9 underneath a little bit here. And maybe 4 as well, the 4-9, and try to spice it up underneath. But on top, I'm going to go with number 1, Arctic Beast, to win this year's version of the Remington Park Springboard Mile. All right, guys, that is for his preview of the race. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alert anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're playing Remington Park on Saturday.